Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. But in today's video we are doing my favourite time of the month, choosing my TBR. We are going to be choosing my June TBR today, which I am so excited about. Okay, I think I might have said in my May TBR, I was really going to try and get my TBR down in May, which I did get my TBR down significantly in May, but I also bought a lot of books in May, so I mean the TBR cart looks very full. We do have, my TBR cart is solely all my paperbacks now and it is full, and then just next to the stacks here, I have a stack here and there's a smaller stack just behind it of all of my hardcovers, so I really need to work on getting through my TBR. I'm currently reading The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker, and I will finish this by the end of the month, so I just thought honourable mention, one of the books I got in May is a book I'm currently reading. So I don't know whether there's any June releases that I'm super excited for. There's none on the top of my head. Let me just check my Waterstones to see if I have a pre-order. No, as of right now we have no books that I am getting that are new releases that come out in June, so I feel like that's pretty good. So we are going to choose 8 books like always. I did pretty good. Do you know what? I did pretty good with my May TBR. So this was my spread that I ended up doing, and yeah. So I read 4 of them, I DNF'd 1 and I didn't get to the other 3, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. So the 3 that I didn't get to, which are back on the TBR card, we have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, Cash by Jessica Peterson, and The Favourites by Lane Fargo. I didn't get around to them, but I did get to all the others, and I obviously did DNF 1, but pretty good reading month, honestly, for me in May so far, and I mean we only have like 3 days left, so I think maybe I'm going to read like 1, maybe 2 more books if I'm lucky. But let's choose our first prompt. As always, we're going to choose 8 prompts. I have a very exciting June coming up. I have Harry Styles concerts, which I'm very excited about, but let's choose my TBR. Right now I'm in a bit more of a romancy mood, but I need to get through some of my hardcovers, and all of them are fantasy. So, I mean, let's see. Prompt number 1. Prompt number 1 is the newest book on your TBR, which would have been delivered yesterday, this is definitely the newest book on my TBR. It is A Queen Crowned Flamed by Hazel McBride. This came out yesterday, so obviously I haven't read it yet, but this is the sequel to A Fate Forged in Fire, which I absolutely loved. I literally binged the book in one day and I sat down and started it and did not put it down. So I'm very excited to read this one, and this is the first one on the TBR, which is perfect because obviously I was going to read this anyway. Let's choose our second prompt. Okay, prompt number 2 is a Fairy Loot book. So I don't have too many on my TBR anymore because I don't have my Fairy Loot subscription anymore, but I do have a few. For this I'm going to only do Fairy Loot, but I do obviously have a Page and Wix subscription. So these are the 3 Fairy Loot books that are on my TBR. So I have The Swan's Daughter, which I actually ended up picking up at an indie bookstore, but it's an absolutely stunning edition and I'm very excited and intrigued by this one. And then the other 2 I did get while I was on the subscription. Then we have Thorn Season by Kira Azar. I'm very excited to read this, and I think this was October's book, YA book, so very excited to read this. And then I think this is the one I'm going to go for because I've been saying I want to keep it for like the summer, and I feel like June is a good time to read this. We have Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. I got this again in my Fairy subscription. This was actually June's box last year, so it will be a year since this has been on my TBR, so let's put this on the TBR. I don't know too much about this. I know it's YA. I did try and start it at one point, but I was like, no, I want to read this in the summer. But I think there's a thing called a choosing right, which are trials which decide the future's ruler, who rules the empire. So yeah, it's like trial-y 5, but I honestly haven't heard a lot of things about this. I saw a lot around it when it came out, but I just saw a lot of people picking it up. I never saw any reviews or anything, so I'm very excited to read this. So let's put this on the TBR. I know I said I wanted to get rid of hardcovers, but I would also like to clear the TBR cart. Okay, let's choose prompt number 3. Okay, prompt number 3 is a book that has one of your favourite covers. Oh, okay, I have a lot of covers that I really like. I feel like my favourite cover right now that I have on my TBR is probably, I'm going to say this one because I really like this cover. This is an indie book that I got, which is called The Tales of Arcana Fortune. I don't know too much about this, but Chloe started reading it and she was enjoying it. And I've seen the character art for this. And I mean, there is art during the book. So let me see if I can show you a character art. Like, there's like chapter headings and there is character art throughout the book. But she was just picked up traditionally, so I did want to pick this up. This is obviously a lot of it's very much giving Once Upon a Broken Heart, and if you know how much I love Once Upon a Broken Heart. And also the character art that I've seen of this is absolutely stunning, and it very much does give Once Upon a Broken Heart vibe, and I really want to read this, and this seems like a really good one for me to pick up now. So let's read The Tales of Arcana Fortune. Let's choose prompt number 4. We're already nearly halfway and we've not really had any that I've been like, oh, I don't know, because I feel like I've known everything. A book from the middle shelf. So basically, normally my TBR is set up as like series / books I really want to continue or get to soon, and then books I'm still really excited but they're not on my immediate radar, and then on the bottom is like, again, books I'm still really excited but they're not on my immediate radar. So we have to choose a book from this shelf, which these are the only options on here. I feel like we have a lot of fantasy on my TBR already, and there is a lot of fantasy on this row, but I do have a romance on here, which could be an option. Maybe we do this actually, because it has been on my TBR for a while. This is also the shelf that has my 16 Books 2026 paperbacks on there. This is it. So this is Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I read the Knockback Boys series as they were coming out back when I first started reading, and I've not picked up a Lucy Score book since, but this is a small town romance and it does sound really, really good, and I did buy it originally because of those sprayed edges, because they're stunning. But I think let's give this a go. I've not read Lucy Score in quite a while, and I picked this up with the thing of, is Lucy Score an author I still like, or is she just an author that I really enjoyed when I first started reading? So let's pick up Story of My Life by Lucy Score. Also did pick this up because it had, the title's a One Direction song. But yeah, that very much shows who I am as a person, doesn't it? Okay, let's choose prompt number 5. I feel like the TBR is looking very, very good so far. I'm very excited. Okay, prompt number 5 is a romantasy. So obviously this is a book. Obviously you have fantasies, you have romances. This is a book that's a romance and a fantasy together. That's, for me, when I think romantic, I think a fantasy book which is more heavy on the romance than it is the fantasy, is personally how I see it. So I feel like romantasy is such an overused term that I feel like a lot of people do just say, oh yeah, but that book's romantasy, and it's not. I think I'm gonna quickly search on TikTok romantasy books. Oh, okay, we could do Diabound, because I know that is more romance. I don't know whether it actually is. I always feel bad saying like, oh yeah, that's romantasy, because sometimes they are just fantasy and people just class them as romantasy, like everyone loves to do. But I do have Diabound, and it is like a very, very hyped one on BookTok, and I feel like I've seen everyone talking about the romance in particular in this book, and I have been meaning to get to it for quite a while. And I know, is it Furybound has just come out, but the thing that's put me off is this book is thick as anything, but this was one of the recs that just come up on the romantasy TikToks, so maybe we go for this one. Unless, there's actually a series that I want to start, but I don't know if, okay, I know it's a dark fantasy romance, which, I mean, I don't know, right, but, I mean, I've literally just practically picked up the next thickest book on my shelf. This is the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roerich, which I really, really want to read. I loved the Lady of Darkness series, and I did tell myself that after I finished the Compelling Fate Saga, which I finished in May, that I would start the Legacy series. This book is so thick, but I love Melissa K. Roach that I honestly am not mad about it. It's 646 pages. This is a dark fantasy romance. Oh, I don't know. Right, I'm just gonna go with this because I want to read this, and I feel like I shouldn't even put that prompt there because I don't like the whole like this is romantasy when it's not. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna say you have to read a fantasy, and that was the prompt, and I'm gonna choose this, which is a dark fantasy romance, and this is Reign of Shadows and Endings, which is book 1 in the Legacy series. As I said, I love the Lady of Darkness series. That is another series, and in that series there is hints of this thing called the Legacies, hence the Legacy series, and I cannot wait to read it. I've been meaning to pick it up for so long now, and I think I finished the Lady of Darkness series in I want to say like September last year, so this has been on my radar since I finished that series, well since I even started book 1. Reign of Shadows and Endings on my TBR. She's very thick. Okay, we have 3 more books to choose, so let's choose prompt number 6. Okay, prompt number 6. Oh, we've got 2. Go this one. Okay, it is a book that was on last month's TBR that you didn't read. Okay, so these are obviously our 3 options. These are obviously the 3 options. So we have Cash, Sounds Like Love, and The Favourites. I did really want to get around to The Favourites, and I still really want to get around to it, and I think I want to go for this. I really want to do the audiobook of this. I've been trying to do more audiobooks this month, and I have done some. I just didn't get around to doing this on audio. So I think let's just go with The Favourites by Lane Fargo because I really wanted to get to it and I just didn't get around to it. And these 2 I do kind of want to read, so this would work perfectly because we don't have really any on my TBR, if any, that we can do an audiobook to. So let's do The Favourites by Lane Fargo. The TBR basket is full. We cannot fit any more in, but let's choose prompt number 7. Okay, prompt number 7 is a romance book. Oh, that actually works out perfectly because I know what one I want to choose. I know exactly what book I want to choose for this. I want to choose When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This book is on my TBR. I bought book 3 and 4 in April, and I picked up book 1 and 2 on Vinted because I really want to read these. And obviously I read the Off Limits Role by Sarah Adams recently and really did enjoy it, and this is like one of her newer series, so I thought this would be a really nice one for me to read. So on the TBR, let's choose our 8th and final prompt. Okay, our final prompt is a book that has a playlist. Okay, I know I don't have many books on my TBR that have playlists. Let me have a look. I feel like this one did when I was looking at it the other day. No. Oh, I do know what book does have a playlist. Where is it? I know this book has a playlist. This is The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. This is an ice hockey romance book, and I met her at Fiction Fest and she was lovely, and I bought them there and she got them signed for me. But this book does have a playlist. I really struggle sometimes with like if books have playlists because I feel like they're not very popular now, but this has definitely some songs on here. We have My Brother's Best Friend, Into You, Let Me Love You, Fuck the Friendship, I Think He Knows, Nonsense, They Don't Know About Us. So, and this is an ice hockey romance, and I do love a sports romance. In the month of May, I binged the entirety of the Windy City series, so let's read The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. I'm very excited to read this. Again, another indie author. Love to support indie authors. I do, obviously. Let's talk through my June TBR. So starting off, we have The Favourites by Lane Fargo. This is a book that I really want to do an audio, and it was on my May TBR and I didn't get around to it. So The Favourites by Lane Fargo. Then we have When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I really want to read this. This is the first book in the series. There are 4 books in the series, and I'm very intrigued. I think they're like small town, maybe. Yeah, these like small town summery springy romances. Then we have The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. I really want to read this. Also indie authors we love. Also sports romance, ice hockey to be particular, we love. Then we have A Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Roach. This is the first book in the Legacy series. She is chunky, but I cannot wait to read this book. Another indie book as well. Then we have Story of My Life by Lucy Score. This is a small town romance, and I want to see if Lucy Score is an author I liked when I first started, or whether I would still like her books now. Then we have Tales of Arcana Fortune by Hafsa A. Jawad, and I'm very excited to read this. She just got trad published, but I cannot wait to read this book. It's very much giving What's Broke Your Heart, and I cannot wait. Then we have Aerostorms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. I've been putting this book off for too long. It's been on my TBR now for a year. Let's read it. Then we have A Queen Crown of Flames by Hazel McBride. This is obviously the second book to A Fate Forged Fire. I cannot wait to read this book. I binged the first one in one day and I did not put it down. So let's read A Queen Crown of Flames by Hazel McBride. They are the 8 books on my TBR. Let's see how many I can fit in my TBR basket and how many we're going to have to put on the side. I can fit 7 of the 8 books on my TBR in the basket. I guess I could just put that on top. There we go. All later in there. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will read as many books on my June TBR as I can. Really hoping I can maybe complete another TBR soon, but we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.